What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the meat stall. Hey, find you some meat and smoke it. Today I decided to do a stuffed pork loin, so I went down to my nearest exchange, got me a pork loin, got a pretty good price on it. I said I wanted to stuff it with something that's not too hard, so I decided to use some stovetop stuff and found some pork flavor, which was very good. Got some chicken broth, some butter, applesauce, a half a cup of celery, and a half a cup of onions. I took the celery and onions, put a little bit of butter inside the saucepan, sauced them until they got a little translucent, and then I put them inside the mix. I also added the applesauce, a half a cup of applesauce to it just for a sweetening aspect. Here I'm butterflying the roast. I'm looking here. I'm cutting off all the little bit of pieces that may just hang off during the cook. Don't want those to burn. Move and get those out the way. You got to make sure you got a good sharp knife. This is my first time butterflying a roast, and it went okay. But as I did research, I see that I could have did a lot better. I'm gonna put down in the link. I found a video where butterflying any piece of meat would be real simple. So here I'm just taking like real small cuts, slowly opening it up, peeling it back as I take those cuts. Here it's open. I want it to be uniform, so I'm just taking slits and putting inside the pork loin, so everything will be nice and uniform. Had I did a better job in butterflying, I wouldn't have to do that. But this is my first one. Hey, I can only get better. That's all I can say. I'm back to using my old favorite Head Country seasoning that my buddy sent me. I really like this seasoning. It's real good. Aimum and Claimum Smoker said they got some good sauces, so I'm tempted to go out there and try those sauces, see how they doing. Yeah, I'm taking the stuffing, putting the stuffing inside the pork loin, being sure to leave a little space on each side so that it will not spill out once you roll it. Stuffing's all in. Now it's time to roll the pork loin. Okay, I'm rolling it up, and when I roll it, I'm gonna roll it so that my fat side will be up. So I scoot it to me a little bit. Slowly start to roll, being careful not to push my stuffing out. Here is the finished product. It's all rolled, and I tied it up with butcher's twine. I don't know how to do butcher's knot, so I just do a regular knot that I've seen. So what you do is you find out where you want to tie the meat at, and you just do a regular knot, a regular square knot. But when you go under about 2 or 3 times. And what this does is it holds your knot and holds your meat in place when you look to do your second knot. So there you pull it tight, and once you pull it tight, by going around 3 times, it holds your meat there in place. I really like that. So what I did is I went ahead and I trussed it all up, cut all the strings, and I'm going back on the outside again with some more Head Country. I rubbed it down in olive oil on the outside just to give my meat something to stick to. I was going to use mustard, but I just decided to use olive oil. So I'm giving a pretty good coat of Head Country seasoning all the way around the roast, and then I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator and let it go for 24. I got it out of the refrigerator. I let it come up to room temperature, and I basically just used some Crisco on my cast iron skillet. I'm putting the pork tenderloin on there, letting it go for about a minute each side, just to get some good caramelization on the outside before I take it to the smoker. So basically I'm just taking it and turning it, just making sure I'm getting all sides and really concentrating on that fat cap. It wasn't a big fat cap. It was kind of, I want to say maybe 1/4 of an inch, if that. But I just continue to turn the roast. You can see it's getting some real good color on it now. So I'm really liking that. And the smell is great. So I took it out, bring it out to my smoker. I brought my smoker up to 250. I'm smoking at 250 today. I got a little bit of white smoke coming out, which I really like. I'm using apple wood again for pork, since pork pairs real good with apple. My temperature, it's just reading about 250. I always like to use two different ways of reading. So I got my kitchen thermometer in, and I got my thermometer on the Masterbuilt. Here, just taking a peek about 1 hour in, getting good color. I like that. That wood smoke is smelling awesome. Checking my temp, I'm at 136. I'm only going to take this thing up to 140. So I've been misting it each hour, which I didn't show, with just apple juice and apple cider vinegar. But now I'm gonna go on with I'm gonna test the temperature with my secondary probe, and to see what temperature it is. It should be reading about spot on with the Masterbuilt. I'll probably have to calibrate my thermometers here in a little bit to make sure they're reading, so we can get a good a reading on it. So it's time to go on with my go-to sauce, Stubbs mopping sauce. I tell you guys, if you can get some Stubbs mopping sauce, get you some and put it on your meat. It gives awesome color, awesome flavor. And it's a little thick sometimes, but you can thin it out with what you want. If you want a sweeter base, you can thin it out with apple juice, or you can thin it out for a more pungent with vinegar. So basically, I'm just basting her up and let her go up until we get to 140. Just taking my time, going all the way around. And you can see in the bottom, that thing is just dripping juice. I put it back on the smoker for about, that's 15 minutes to a half hour, so that little mopping sauce can set. I didn't want it to put any barbecue sauce on it, so I just went with the mopping sauce. Had I not stuffed it with stuffing, I would have went with a barbecue glaze. But now I'm just gonna go with a gravy. And there she is. Let's temp it one more time. I want to make sure we want up at 140. About 140 is about the minimum that I like to cook pork. So it looks like everything is going good. We're at 140. It's time to bring that bad boy out. Okay. Bring it out the smoker. Next thing you know, we're going to be in the house with it. That should look right there. Let's zoom in on that thing. Look at the juices dripping off that thing. Well, I tell you, that was one juicy tenderloin. Put it in the house and let it rest for a little bit. I'm going to tint it with some aluminum foil and let it tint for like 15, maybe 20 minutes. I don't think I can wait too much longer than that, because I was definitely ready to eat that thing. And there we go. Let it take a little bit of nap. I cut it, and you can see the juices just running. If I can get the camera person to zoom in just a little bit. When I look at that thing, look at the thing, how she's just glistening, tender, juicy. The only thing that I regret about this is my butterfly technique, but I will get my knife skills up to par. So she cut tender, she smells awesome. Now it's time for the real coup de grace. Let's do a taste. So I cut me a piece, set it to the side. Let's see what this thing tastes like. I mean, this thing was just busting with juice. 140 was perfect temp. You got the whole house smelling of smoked meat. I love it. Let's grab this piece right here. Give me a little bit of stuffing, a little bit of juice. I just wish I had more stuffing in it, but hey, it would be better. I'm gonna take this piece right here. As you can see right there, it's just so juicy. Look at that, just juice just dripping. When I bite into it, I get a nice smoke flavor, but the smoke is not overpowering. I taste the stuffing, I taste the applesauce. It all goes together for a perfect bite. And the smoke, I'll definitely be doing one of these again. See you guys soon.